satisfying. I love that. Whoa. As we visit, it's very industrious and wet feet, and it's so little. What is this? This episode of Fragbox TV is brought to you by
the world's most beautiful nano reef tanks. Start your reefing adventure at reefcasa.com.
Hey Reefing fam, White Corals here in Germany. Let's go. Let's see what's up. What's behind door number 1? Can't believe they trust me with one of these. Beep beep. Oh damn, that was satisfying. I love that. Whoa, this is cool. Okay, where do we start? Where do we start? We start with March being very jealous of this studio space. This is so cool. If I ever had the chance to move Fragbox to a bigger space, I would absolutely incorporate something like this. I would steal Tidal Garden's ingenious idea of a podcast. This is really nice, the way they set it up, super clean. Just gives you a place too to like do videos like this. When you do product reviews, it's nice to have that sort of professional space. Really, really cool. Our friend here, Corey, he's going to give us our tour today through this facility. Thank you very much for trusting me with the keys to your multi-million euro business.
You're welcome.
This is a really cool space. One thing that you wouldn't know unless I told you, we are on, what floor is this? 4th?
In Germany we say 3rd floor. In the States you would say the 2nd floor.
We're high up.
High up.
So it's weird because for us, we're usually on the ground floor. You have a lot of weight with the tanks. And to get them this high up, well, they build things differently here. Everything is made of concrete, so maybe you don't have to worry. They're testing some new carbons over there with the, maybe you don't know, but very popular reactors, the Nyos reactors, and then they got different types of carbon setting up. But I'm really interested in this, in the corals, in the build, and it's a little bit weird being here because the first time I saw this was in a Jake Adams video he'd done, it's gotta be what, 5 years ago he was here?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and it's cool because it's one of the only places that you have this natural light. Like the windows are closed right now, or at least they have something in front of it, but it has a very light, airy feeling that we usually don't get. Like a lot of the places we visit, it's very industrious and warehousey, and you can't see out. It just gives it a completely different feel. We're greeted with this beautiful, beautiful set, actually. Twins, Nigel. Very nice display tanks on the ends. It's kind of reminding me a little bit of White Corals, the way they have it set up. So in the front you have the display tank like this, and then behind it you have your beds of tanks. It's kind of a common setup we see from place to place. What isn't common is the number of radions. Like, wow, you guys, this is a Ecotech free, this is some marketing.
Yeah, that is definitely some marketing. I counted, we have over 200 radions in-house, and I think around 150 from the MP40s.
That's a lot. That's a lot of Ecotech.
A lot of.
So you guys either get a crazy deal or you like it.
We like it.
You like it, yeah. And I can see a mix here, just looking at the fans, some Gen 4s, some Gen 5s, maybe even Gen 6s mixed into there. These are separate systems?
Mm-hmm. Each system has around 5,000 liters, which is, what, 1,200 gallons?
Divide by 3.8, maybe slightly bigger, yeah, 1,500 gallons, that's big.
The whole system itself is 10 meters. The show tank is 1.50 meters wide, 70 high, and I think it was like 1 meter.
10 meters, and this is one continuous tank from front to back.
Correct.
So 10 meters by 3 feet, it's basically, we're looking at just about
the
30
back
feet.
Is yeah, exactly, yeah.
30 feet, and it's there's no break, it's just, it goes on. Well, even the width is crazy.
1.50 meters.
1.50 meters, so I think that's over 6 feet, 7 feet wide. But the glass doesn't look that thick. What's this, 12 mil maybe?
Yeah, that should be a 12 mil, correct.
Wow. This is, I've always wanted to do one like this because if you have a good, healthy population of fish, I find they can really help the whole tank. You know, you have I saw a copper band swimming through, or you have tangs and or wrasses and
fish that help to clean the tank basically and poop a lot.
Yeah,
that's what we need.
Just incredible. So separated, I guess, by types of coral. This looks like probably
this is
SPS.
Mainly SPS, mainly LPS, mainly, not completely, but mainly.
And I guess it's a silly question, but you're using probably Nyos salt on these
Correct,
ones? Yeah.
Nyos salt, and a blend of trace elements that we mix together in just regular food part.
What are you trying to keep the parameters at in tanks like these?
Alk 8 to 8.5. Calcium 420 to 450, somewhere in between. Magnesium, the typical 1250 to 1350. Other than that, we try to keep all the trace elements a little bit elevated, but not too crazy.
Okay, so more or less natural seawater.
Yeah, more or less.
Wow, what are you doing here with these Alveopora? Jeez.
And those are frags of frags of frags. So
I don't think I've ever seen tentacles get quite that large. That is incredible. Okay, keeping Goniopora, keeping Alveopora. High flow or low flow?
Alveopora, low flow, Goniopora, high flow.
Interesting. Okay, so different for different species.
Yes.
And then looks like low light, just by
yeah,
looking.
it is pretty low.
Pretty
over
low.
the course of the day.
Are you feeding them?
No, not directly.
Not directly.
I've never seen any benefit to it, despite a lot of people saying differently.
Wow, that is a very controversial opinion.
It is what it is.
But our friend Corey has been working here a year and a half with white corals. Before that, previously 5 years at a very well-known, reputable company that's producing, what don't they make? They're doing calcium, alk, mag, amino acids. It's called Fauna-Marin, if you haven't heard of it.
Whole system.
Whole system. So lots of experience. You're running the lab there. Coral growing. Is this a pipe organ?
Yes.
Oh man, my ADHD just kicked in so hard. Look at how nice that is. So long, the tentacles. Like, if you don't know what you're looking at, you might think it's like a green star polyp, but that's just absolutely perfect. Is this open to the public? Well,
no.
Oh, this is not.
All just farm, not open.
Farm up here. When it looks good, take it downstairs and sell it.
Correct.
Nice. Look at these Montes. I like this. What's going on with these plugs? So what does that M24 mean?
When we frag, that we know when it goes online what was the mother colony. We have a number next to the mother colony, so we do it. So we keep track because at some point it just got too much for all of us to manage which one was a frag. And sometimes frags just look so similar, but when they grow out, you can tell that it's a different boss.
So it's like a Dewey Decimal System for keeping track of frags.
Correct.
That's smart. The Germans, you know what I noticed by a couple days we're here, we're doing videos, very organized.
That is a trait that people would put on a German.
Yes,
correct.
very organized. And as someone with like mild OCD, I can really appreciate when things are exactly where they're supposed to be. Yeah, these tanks are really clean too. Someone has the job of, I guess, cleaning the glass on these.
Yeah.
They look pretty good. Good, bad, neutral. What is your opinion on Astrina starfish?
Somewhere neutral, but tendency to bad.
Tendency, okay, interesting. How come?
I've seen it too often that they attack zoas and even acants. So, of course, there are a lot of different types of them. Usually the larger ones tend to attack. So, I wouldn't recommend having them.
If you can get rid of them, get rid of them.
Correct. For here in the SBS system, it's okay. We have some harlequin in here that keep them at bay, I would say, but not get rid of them.
What do we have going on under here? Anemones?
Yes, we're started propagating anemones now. The system down here runs counterclockwise, so when the light up here goes off, it goes on down here.
Little switch.
Yeah.
It is very quiet in here.
Yes, that's what I wanted it. It's not as quiet as I would want it, but it's very quiet.
This is the second quietest place I've ever been to. The first one being Tidal Gardens. Have you ever been?
No, exactly.
If you can appreciate quiet, if you're about noise reduction, he has an obsession.
Yeah, I saw he even had like dampers on the ceiling.
We're going to go visit him again in August, and I'm sure that's going to be one of the topics because, yeah, it's just silent. But this is pretty close.
Thanks.
Yeah, you don't get, it's nice. It's a little eerie for us because we always have that gurgle, but it's nice. Beautiful acro colonies, lots of flow, no detritus, no substrate, huh?
No substrate.
Anywhere?
In the farm systems, no.
Not even in here?
No.
Is that for just
when I
keeping
started,
it?
we had, but it tended to pile up on one side because of the high flow, so I just removed it after a while.
How old are these displays?
This one has been up running not quite 2 years. Every single coral you see in here was from a 2-inch frag, so no colonies.
Wow.
And this one has been up for 1.5 years.
This is a lot of growth for 2 years.
Thank you.
Yeah, look at the zoa. It's just incredible.
I mean, I heard you a zoa guy as well.
I am a zoa nut. You have any tips or secrets or things you want to share for getting that kind of health and color and growth? Feed and only use Nyos products. That's it.
That is a very good thing.
Other than that?
I am a big fan of vitamin C dosing, to be honest.
You know, that is not in the I find, at least in North America, not in the conversation anymore. It was kind of growing in popularity. You see guys on Reef Central experimenting, but it's more or less gone.
The instant plankton, one of our foods, has a good amount of vitamin C as well, and I've seen very good growth from zoas with it.
We've heard it, guys. That was something, we used to see people experiment. I heard of people dosing it, but not anymore. I haven't heard anyone talk about vitamin C for any sort of coral growth in a very, very long time. But maybe that's the key. Maybe that's.
I mean, of course, it's also a good carbon source, so it could be just that, but
indirectly.
Yeah.
And this is quite the tank. Beautiful. I love how organized these are too. You have everything laid out nicely.
We try. It's not perfect, but we try.
How many staff members here?
Up here, just me and one colleague, and then of course somebody who cleans the tanks once a week. So both 2 people up here.
So this is your baby. These are your systems.
Yeah.
Are you testing them by hand, or do you have some sort of automated machine?
We can go get there in a second.
Yeah.
I don't do it by hand, just once in a while when I'm uncertain.
What has Lizard Lady found over here?
This is the zoa system that we started a while ago because I wanted to get the zoas out of the big tanks that have zoa colonies.
That one, and also that fish, I don't think I've ever seen before. He has like a 3-thing
tail.
tail.
That's just a very old, unhappy sailfin tank. He was beat up really bad. That's why we put him up here so he can grow old. He's not the most pretty fish anymore, but
I think he's so cute.
That's what I said too. Why just because he's ugly, why shouldn't he be happy with his life? That's why you would put him up here.
Quarantane.
I
think that's if I was to translate that, I would bet quarantine.
Correct.
Got it. 10 points. What are we quarantining?
Everything that comes up here has to go through a quarantine. It used to be both systems to quarantine, but I found one quarantine system is more than enough if you quarantine right and long enough. Right now I have a lot of different things from bounce mushrooms. I mean, let's go get this one, a nice one.
Beautiful example. Just perfect. It's got like different color bounces too.
Yeah.
Is it what they call Frankenstein?
No, it's
New Jersey?
That's actually one that doesn't have a name.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it with the pink before. Pink and orange.
Pink and orange, just correct. Orange.
Yeah, that's funky. You got to be a real coral nerd to appreciate different colored vesicles on a mushroom. Like,
True.
People who are watching this, you're not in the hobby, you'd be like, "What the hell did this guy just show me?" It's
some big bubbles.
You gotta be in it to appreciate. It's when you do it for long enough. It's slight differences. It's small things that you see that you're like, "Oh, that's different," because you've seen. Like I'm sure you yourself, you've seen all of it, right, over the years.
It's been quite a few mushrooms that I've seen over the years.
Do you keep a tank at home?
No, not. But I'm thinking about getting the new Nyos 200 actually, because that's not too big. The small system.
Manageable.
Manageable.
Yeah. So you guys import anything from the wild, or is it all farmed?
We import a lot, actually. We get at least one shipment a week.
Okay, so you import a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. And then is that sold? Is that wholesale? It's sold.
No, sell all ourselves.
All retail.
All retail.
Okay, cool.
And if I find anything cool, I bring it up in the quarantine and then put it in the farms.
You have a name for these zoas right here?
Which ones?
These ones I'm looking at.
Nightmares.
Nightmares. Oh, these look like something we used to call campfire back in the day. But I can't find them anymore. I was gonna bring one home, illegally or legally, whatever, in my suitcase.
Probably semi-legally, you could.
Yeah, without any rock on it, that would be probably the one. What are these empty tanks? Looks like.
Those are dipping tanks. Right now, I'm just using it as an acid bath to clean our tanks, the boards. But what they're meant for, or usually used for, is I put dip in here, clean water in here. It has litter, so I just take one big board, put it in there, dip it, clean it off, and then whip the coral back in.
Love this, and this is like a saltwater manifold behind?
Exactly. And then you have lights, you have some flow, water drains from the bottom.
I've actually never seen this. Never seen it. It's ingenious.
So it's easy. I don't have to take the corals off the board, just put the whole board in there.
And then when they're done with the dip, over to the next one.
Exactly.
This is something.
Excuse me? Valves.
Oh, I love this.
They take the water themselves. If I want to do a water change, I just turn it this way, put the saltwater pump on, and then it runs in and overflows, so you have a nice water change without having to do all of the manual work. We basically just go in, suck up the detritus, but like water change itself automatically.
So smart. Were you guys at a different facility before coming to this one?
Yes, they were like more in like an office style building before this. This is my fragging and pests area where check for pests with them.
Love this.
So I have a big screen, my saw.
Even this, just having like electrical perfectly there where you need it, ready to go.
Yeah.
Everything's laid out really, really nicely. Oh, look at that. What a polyp lab. These actually became quite rare. This is going to be like some reefing memorabilia.
Jake Adams actually sent me that one.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, 2 of them.
This is so extra rare.
Yes, back then I asked him, hey, where did you get it?
Yeah.
And he said, you know what, I'll send it to you.
They don't even make it anymore. So polyp lab, if you're watching, put these back in print. Or don't, and watch them like increase in value.
Zoas as well with names on them.
Beautiful. I love how everything is labeled. Makes me want to go back to the shop and just start cleaning and organizing.
Yeah,
and
we try to
stuff.
have everything as organized as possible, like glasses here, the tests, each one where they belong.
You know, otherwise it just becomes, it gets crazy. Really, really cool spot.
This is our server room, so not much to see, but it's just a nice server room. Here we have some additives, like different ones, spare parts for the saw if something goes missing.
And you were telling me this is a new Nyos tank that we're going to see more of at Interzoo tomorrow?
Correct. This was the prototype, so the final version looks even nicer. This is going to be the 200. It's a cube, 55 centimeters by 55 centimeters. One big, nice door. As I said, this is the prototype.
So thick.
Yes.
Wow. Das German, all is good. This is quality. Look at the size of that thing. This is not IKEA. This
No,
feels
definitely
like,
not.
This feels like
Look at the hinges.
Came off of a boat. This is like from a tank. Look at these.
These tanks are made to last.
I've never seen a hinge quite like that.
Soft close as well. This one didn't soft close.
Okay, not this one. Edit that. The next ones will. And then that's designing prototype sort of area?
Yeah, we usually in the back, so that's why it's blocked off right now. Our engineer works in the back. Yeah, so this is the farm area. If we want to do water testing, unspecified species, because usually you could only find a Recordia florida in the Caribbean, but these species only grow big. They don't grow multiple mouths like Florida do, and we only receive once in a while. They call them deep water Recordia.
I've never seen
and I have
like
a
that.
blue version as well.
That is so cool. I guess you guys wouldn't sell it.
No.
Why does my mind have to go there? March, can't you just enjoy it without having to think dollar signs?
Look at this.
It is, yeah, it's spectacular. Even the color, like, forget the bubbles and the shape.
You don't
and texture.
see that on Florida.
Not red. You're not going to see a reddish with blue. That's a really, really spectacular piece.
And then you have
So cool.
and they come from Belize.
Starfish that eat starfish. Never seen this one. I thought it was a blue linkia, but not quite.
No, Nadoa. I think it's called Nadoa.
Oh, Hottie, I gotta get a photo of you for the thumbnail in front of the tank, because all you coral nerds, these are the ones that do best. And we put her looking at, that's it. I'm not even gonna try doing other ones. So.
Jacket on or off?
Oh, jack it off, yeah. And then just like put your finger on the tank and kind of stick your butt out a little bit, because we need the views. Okay, boom, there's the thumbnail shot. We got it. Thank you very much.
Knows it.
It knows. So we're talking about fragging this piece here. He says he's afraid to cut it. I'm going to share a little bit of March like woo-woo secret. If you're afraid to kill the coral, it's going to die.
Definitely.
If you're afraid to cut it, these things have been on Earth for a very long time. Every time I look at one, I say, I fucking love you, don't die. You know what it does? It dies. It curses it. So you have to cut it with confidence. I can keep you. You coral, you're my bitch, and I'm going to grow the crap out of you. Yeah, just think like that and you'll be fine.
From testing manually, because in 1 week we had somebody test, and then in the other week somebody else tested, and everybody has different eyes. So we always came up with different values.
You need the same person every time almost.
Correct.
Or
but
this.
that doesn't work, and that's why we invested about 20,000 euros into a machine that can measure calcium, magnesium, and alkalinity.
Is that what this is? Eco.
Correct.
I've never heard of this.
Mitrom, they make. It's one of the biggest companies in that regard.
So how does it work? Is it like titration?
Exactly, it's titration. Exactly. Yeah, and it works pretty well. We put in from all the tanks, put them in here, and it does it by himself.
It's automatic.
It's automatic.
So this is like a souped-up European Triton, Neptune Trident.
Correct. But it also measures pH.
For 10 times the price.
For 10 times the price,
Does
correct.
it do nitrate?
No.
Phosphate?
Nope.
Calcium?
Calcium, magnesium, and alkalinity.
But is it designed for this industry, for saltwater, or it just happens to work?
It is made for saltwater, but not for our industry, and it works very well. For phosphate and nitrate, we use the Nyos tests because they work really well. Especially the nitrate is well known in the States because it measures it in orange instead of the pink to lighter pink, which is often very hard to understand.
Is this complicated to use?
No, it's super easy.
Oh, it looks like you need a PhD.
Our cleaning lady does it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Sorry, I don't know if he's joking or not.
No.
Oh, it's not a joke?
I have highest regard for her. She cleans all of our tanks, but she has no idea what's in the tanks.
She just cleans it
and she just knows how to work the machine. We told her.
Perfect.
Step 1, step 2, step 3 works like a charm. That's why we invested that money so everybody can do it.
Stepping into the retail side. Wow.
Come in, you get greeted by our show tank as well. All corals came from the farm. There's nothing that came as a mother colony. Every single piece came as a frag from the farm, and this tank has been running for 1.5 years as well.
Just incredible. This is my favorite style of tank, really, is Peninsula.
But one of the hardest one to scape and make look good.
To light, to everything. But when you guys nailed it, this is how you do it. It's like, look at this rock work. It's just perfect.
Yeah, it's like free floating. That one big piece.
Complemented by this one underneath. You guys have done a great job. You get 2 tanks in one, almost 3 tanks in one. You get this angle. You can look at down this angle. It's just incredible. Oh, I love what you've done here with the presentation.
Yeah, can't wait. We have an apex ready to put it there. So that's going to be the next.
Really cool. Even that power bar. Who makes that?
Those are DJ power bars. If you just look up DJ power bars, you usually find them.
I like it. Very, very nice. Like, is this lit by radions as well?
Yeah, those are still Gen 4s.
You know what? I think that's the best light.
I really like them.
I like you guys, Ecotech, but I don't know if you've done any major improvement since Gen 4. It's just, for me, that's still the one. Yeah.
That torch, the one in the nearest one, it was a spawn in the tank.
No way.
When we received colonies, wild colonies, they spawned in the tank, and I plucked it off from one of the egg crates and placed it in, and now the flesh already is overgrowing onto the plug.
I don't think a lot of people can say that. Well, this is so cool. So this is open for anyone to walk in?
Yeah, exactly. And behind we have our, like, when we have meetings or plan tanks for people, for customers, we have that.
This is so nice. I like the stands.
Same, 10 meters.
Oh, I love that. Usually what people will do when we see they would close the front or use the bottom with storage, but this is so nice, that depth. Just, wow. There's a lot going on here. How many liters?
Excuse me?
How many liters in here?
4, 8, 13,000, something like that.
Wow. Check this out. Look at this. So nice. Attention to detail. It's just perfect. The branding, logo, really, really nice. Checkout counter. Really clean. Ecotech. Getting a shout out behind the counter. Even this. Little touches. You know, they go a long way. I don't know how many people are watching these ever dreamed about opening a store. That's how you do it. Put your name on top of the fridge where you can. Really, really nicely laid out. And it's big. There's a ton of space in here. Like, it's so nice to see shops with room because we have so little. What is this? I like this.
We had our own convention in February.
Okay.
The Reef Mania.
Reef Mania.
Based on basically a Reefapalooza style, just in small, in the first German one. And we used this to promote it. Still running for some reason, don't know why, but yeah.
These are the fish.
These are fish systems, correct?
Well, super clean. Yeah.
Live rock, we get it a ton every other month.
Look at that. This is still the best in my opinion.
It is, and 16 euros per kilo, so there's almost no better prices.
That's
2 pounds, something like that?
Yeah. Wow. And that's the way you do it. Just keep it wet.
There's a lot of benefits to it. You don't have the nutrient spike when you put it underwater. Like if you put a complete new shipment underwater, you get the nutrient spike,
right?
Which kills a lot of the rock. And if you just sprinkle them pests like crabs, snails, they try to get out.
They try to get
water
out.
Down underneath. There's like
So
a little bit of water underneath.
Okay.
So you have way less problems with the rocket itself.
That's smart.
That's I think it was even invented during that type of system.
All the invert
System. Everything is pretty empty right now. We're waiting for new shipments. We usually get one shipment a week, one coral shipment and one invert fish import. Mostly Philippines and India.
How do you like these?
Very much. I very much like them. I was never a big fan of the other ones, like the Cersei and everything else.
Because they all sucked.
Yes, but this one, it doesn't fail very often. And if it does, you instantly get a message on your phone, hey, I'm stuck, I need help, whatever, and then you can look into it.
They've done a great job.
They really did with that.
This is so cool, so much space.
Our fish systems have also inserted, but we use the Genesis ones on these because they're completely mechanical, so nothing can really break on them. They first were made for ponds, and then they switched over to the saltwater as well.
I love how you set up the lights. The presentation here is just perfect.
As clean as possible.
Yeah, really, really
Never
clean.
be perfect, but as clean as possible.
Tropic Marin, very well-known German brand. This is an angel.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's named after you, honey. It's an angel. Ta-dun. Yeah. This is something we sell a ton of back in Canada. Very popular. Is it not here?
It's okay.
Kind of, huh? I wish I knew more about
it was
their
pushed
line.
to the States a lot through social media, I saw it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is a good product.
A very old, like, trusted brand, at least for us. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I was just telling Corey here, we like in Canada, we hold German-made stuff to a very high degree of like respect, a very high standard. That's what Canadians want. European stuff, we always think it's good, it's quality, it's German-made. Yeah, and then over on this side, all the dry goods, hardware, everything you need. One-stop shop.
Nyos Opus 440, the largest version. Also, again with the big hefty lures.
I love it. It's different too. Like when you see it, you will immediately know this is a Nyos tank.
And it has a lot of different things that you don't see on other tanks. Clear silicone. But the back panel is shorter than the front panel to keep the silicone clear, because if you would have had the back panel, it would have been dark because you would have seen it. Now light can go through and you still have...
Yeah, then staggered. Yeah, this one meets it over here.
Exactly.
That's smart.
External overflow, but not drilled. There's a cutout in the glass where it sits in, so you don't have any issues with bulkheads getting leaky or whatever.
Smart.
The pipes. You visited Eheim today.
Yes.
The same company who makes their pipes makes our pipes.
Yeah, they look familiar. So beautiful. This is like a supermarket for your aquarium. Just rows and rows.
One-stop shop.
Look at this. I've never seen a store laid out quite like this. It's beautiful. Yeah, you guys really have everything. Nyos, of course. If I haven't talked about it in the video yet, it's one and the same. It's two companies under one roof. Yep. And some of the best skimmers here on the market. Quantum 120s, 160. What's the biggest one? Or 220?
300.
300?
Yeah, it has 2 pumps in it.
I can see you guys like Tuns or just happen to sell it.
It's a good German company.
Yeah.
We try to promote German products in our store.
Why not? I'm actually going to go visit them on Friday and go to see how these are made. We're going to give us a tour of their facility over there, and I'm really looking forward to that. Good German stuff. I like this. How it's like the tank wraps around the beam. That's really unusual. That's neat. And you were saying this is actually going to get turned into one big display tank.
Yes, definitely. It's going to change completely. Right now it's still an SPS system where we have wild and frags from the farm. Where we want to completely convert it to one big show tank with frags from the system.
That's cool. Look at the size of the skimmer here.
That's a 300 Nyos. Wow.
Massive. And what are you using for pumps?
Return pumps are Vectra L2s, and those are closed loop pumps, Jabal.
No, I use the Jabal as well in the shop, some of the bigger ones. They do the job.
Yeah.
They're inexpensive, they work. Some of them are now 7 years old.
I think those are pretty old as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they last. I found the most important with them is don't touch them, don't clean them.
True.
Just leave it. Don't take it out of the water.
I agree.
Yeah, it's when you think that cleaning is helping it, somehow it makes it worse. So nice, so many frags. here, is this a dehumidifier?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We have
it's nice in here.
dehumidifiers everywhere.
Yeah.
And for like pool-sized rooms that have AC systems.
Massive. Wow.
We have that on every floor to keep it nice and not. You know
Wet.
that feeling when you get into an older aquarium shop, it's just wet, damp, not nice.
Feels like a jungle.
Yes, and that we really wanted to have something else.
I've never tried doing this, fragging spawning. I see people do it, and I don't know. It just doesn't.
It always scares.
It scares me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe I need to take my own advice and frag with confidence. I love this. I don't know why. I get off on sinks like
Clean.
Clean. Yeah.
Working area. If something's wrong, have the light with the. Just have.
Perfect. Granite countertops.
Exactly. Nothing can.
I always wonder how many people watch these videos with the idea, maybe where you guys live, you're thinking about doing something like this. Go back and rewatch this one. Take lessons, get your notebook, because this is how it's done. This is reefing, and this is store and retail set up on a very, very high professional level.
Come in here so they can acclimate. We can check for pests. If something goes wrong with a shipment, that we don't mess up our normal running system.
This is something I don't have the space to do, but I'd love to. Look at these, the sonai. We don't see these often.
Yeah, they came in on Saturday,
Beautiful.
so they're still not as puffy as they should be looking.
Yeah, they start to look like acans as they
Yes.
This is really funky too, how you have this drop-off incorporated.
Yeah.
How come? It kind of goes, is that to give you more room under the sun?
Because beforehand this was a soft coral system, and they had anemones here. What I still do now, when we import anemones, they come up here, and then they have larger like soft coral. This is an anemone that looks like a torch coral, and it's an anemone actually.
Never seen
Me
that
neither.
before.
We recently got them. It looks like a black torch, right?
Yeah, but even just like the yellow, like a
Yeah, I mean
yellow without orange. Usually you find yellow, maybe a little bit on the tips. That's really cool. Show you guys again how high up we are, because it's just not something we ever see in North America. Like, we're high up. Usually it's on the first floor, but the way they build buildings here, everything is concrete, so you don't have to worry. And they're not reinforcing the floor. The floor is reinforced. It's built to hold this kind of weight, and I just absolutely love the windows. It's so cool. People say, you know, avoid direct sunlight. In some cases, yes, but don't forget, these things are coming out of the ocean, which happen to be like direct sunlight all day, so it can be done. We do have big windows in the shop right next to our tank. What a nice big fish. Beautiful tank. I'm sure he does an awesome job at keeping these things clean. And I didn't know that domino damsels could get that size. Jesus, that's a big one.
he eats it out of your hands.
What? Okay, wait, let me put this in.
Feeding demonstration.
This
is like a
he's
zoo
the
now.
best guy. Yeah, you can even pet him.
That's
He's-
fine.
No way. Eat it right out of my hand?
Yeah, in
Hello.
front of him.
Oh,
Check this out, how many radions. When I saw this video on the Reef Builders, originally this was all T5. And he's telling us how it's just not... Well, maybe you say it one more time. Why T5 was in a sense better and...
You have a very nice growth pattern under T5 since you get light everywhere.
It's even.
Yes, it's very even.
Yeah.
But then again, it looks very blank. That's why I used to love a hybrid version, T5s and LEDs. But cost-wise, it was just not feasible.
Yeah.
Then the European government banned T5s as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, T5s are banned in Europe.
Huh.
So as of now, only specialty T5s are still allowed.
Would that be like ones used on
Correct,
these tanks?
but that is only a transitionary allowance, so they will go away.
Yeah. And on top of that, you have electricity. So like, we take it for granted. If you're in Ohio, you're paying, you know, cents on the kilowatt. They're about 10 times what we are. You know, some places like as high as 40 cents, 42 cents a kilowatt. It's a lot. It adds up when you have this many things running, and it's just not economically feasible to be able to run that many T5s. They are just incredibly expensive in terms of power and bulb replacement. If you were to line this, you need a couple hundred bulbs easy. Those things are expensive. Every 6 months, every year, you're swapping them out. So really, this became, for better or worse, we were forced into using LED. Yeah, but it's like I'm kind of going back towards a hybridization, because I agree with you that in a lot of respects it's still good if you can afford to run them.
Correct.
Yeah. This is it.
Here's a
Somebody gets it. I thought I was alone.
No, I like those.
Yeah.
You don't see them too often anymore. So you're even like a neon green version on this
Little collection. I like them because they're easy to grow.
They're super easy to grow.
Anything that grows to me is gets a thumbs up. Duncan coral, Stylophora,
Duncans are
Valley.
banned in Europe. Like we can't import Duncans anymore.
Wow.
So we have to grow them. It's illegal for us.
Goodness, digitata. This is a great hard coral.
Super easy digitata.
Tortusa.
Yeah. Body Slimer.
Classic pieces with little attention to your tank. You should be able to grow them. If you're killing digitata, it's time to
doing something wrong.
Something is very wrong with your water quality. You have to just get on top of your alk testing. Something's off. Maybe even salinity, and then we get into some of the harder pieces. This over here, some shortcake, anything from Australia like that. It's a little less forgiving. Vermiculatas, you got to try a little harder, but these ones over here, definitely easier, more forgiving, merciful species, I will call them.
3 times a week. Mostly WYSIWYG. We upload around 700 corals WYSIWYG every week.
So this is like a photo room.
Correct.
This is cool.
So, of course, I think since you take a lot of pictures, you know how it hurts in the back after a while. So we came up with an idea to have the camera with a big display on the back to slide it around, up and down, and just take photos. You have 2 lights, the Kessels to light out the coral correctly.
I love this. Who makes this rig?
That's just eBay, basically. Newer, not eBay, I think even Amazon. You can get this one, and then we just screwed some wheels underneath.
Attach a tripod.
Yeah, we have like a little monitor here that connects to the camera.
That's ingenious.
And that's how we get a lot of the amount through that we can get.
Yeah, because it's a lot of work. The camera gets heavy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you work out your shoulders, your arms, if you hold
And
it.
every picture looks the same if you do it this way. You don't have one from a little bit further, one a little bit closer. They all look the same.
So you let this one get dirty and then switch to this one, clean
This
it,
is more like a reserve tank if we ever need more. Usually when we select corals, we put them on the other side.
Right.
This is basic, but we don't need it anymore.
How do you keep the black parts so clean?
Just weekly cleaning.
Weekly cleaning.
And then we walk around. We have like tubs on these plastic wagons, and we bring the corals around.
This is so cool. As someone who takes a lot of photos, I can really appreciate. Like, I'm always saying in the videos, I feel like I sound really nerdy, but it's so smart what they've done here. It really is.
This is German engineering.
I feel like I'm in a church and I'm looking at like the organs and the wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
This is how we do water change and how the tanks in the front get their water. Same as upstairs, 3-way valves. They just take the water from here, RO system. If we want to do a water change, I just switch it around, and it takes water that we pre-mix over here, and we just let it run.
So this is where they're packing their online orders. So if you live in the EU, you can order from you.
Yeah.
Servicing basically the whole continent here, unless you Brexited. But this is cool because what they're doing is actually preheating the water before bagging up to 28 degrees. So if you live in Finland, you live in Norway, you live somewhere that's cold, you don't have to worry about it. And I guess you guys guarantee arrive alive on the stuff you send out?
Yes, we have DOA guarantee.
That's awesome. Really organized. I love the screens up there. You can see your order like on the mega screen as they're packing, as they're working. It's really, really well thought out. Oh, look at these clams.
Yeah.
Even these I haven't seen. We don't get too many of these mini max anymore.
Vietnam is pretty hard to get stuff to right now.
Oh yeah.
With these are meant for frozen meats, like if you want to buy online your food.
Food delivery?
Yes, correct.
Ah.
It's basically paper, shredded paper,
Okay.
and the customer can just throw it in the trash. So it's
eco-friendly.
Eco-friendly. We had temperature trackers we shipped to Finland and back, and we never saw any issues. So those are really well.
Is it less expensive than styro?
Yes, less expensive.
What is it called? Paper flock.
Correct.
I gotta look at something like this because this is the box.
So we wanted to skip the necessary duct taping everything.
Oh wow! Already done. It just pops open.
Just pops open. You rip this off like an Amazon package.
You don't even need tape.
Yep.
Wow. Efficiency.
So just efficiency. German efficiency.
That is so smart. I want to really look into these.
Those are amazing. It's softer.
I've never seen an RO quite like that. Wow. That's pretty cool. Who makes this? Grunbeck.
Genau, Grunbeck.
Wow.
And
I'm used to a trickle. This is coming out quick. I just love this. The whole room. The room is dedicated to making water, DI water. So freaking cool. Man, what a place. What a tour. I'm really still impressed with the size of this place. Like,